Hi, this is Heather Picken, host of the Fearless and Baddest Female Masterclass. You're going to learn in 90 days or less how to take your business to the next level. You want to go to the next level, you've got to align your mind to your vision and you got to take action. So I want you to take notes, and I also want you to consider to upgrade to the Fearless and Fabulous bundle. What that is experts paid products given to you for only $97. This is important because it's supporting a cause called She Should Run. And that is about getting 250,000 women running for office by 2030. I want you to be a fearless woman. Stand in your power and know what you stand for. I hope you enjoy this masterclass. Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to another expert interview on the Fearless and Fabulous Female Entrepreneur Summit. We're going to dive right into the next interview with Jill Lublin today. I'm going to tell you a little bit about her. She's an international speaker on the topics of radical influence, publicity, networking, kindness, and referrals. She is the author of 4 best-selling books, including Get Noticed, Get Referrals, and co-author of Guerrilla Publicity and Networking Magic. Her latest books, Profit of Kindness, went #1 in 4 categories. Jill is a master strategist on how to position your business for more profitability and visibility in the marketplace. She's also a CEO of a strategic consulting firm and has over 20 years experience working with over 100,000 people plus national and international media. Jill teaches publicity crash courses as both live events and live webinars, and consults and speaks all over the world. So Jill, thank you so much for being my guest today.
I'm excited and delighted to be here. Thank you.
My pleasure. And like I said, we're going to dive right into this. I don't want to waste anyone's time. And we're going to talk about PR and how to get more of it. I know personally, getting PR has helped me to get credibility, get more opportunities, get out there. It is so important. And I think the first question women are asking, how do I really get it? Where do I start? So let's start there.
Well, and I just want to set a little bit of a context too, because it is what PR does for you. And wherever you are in your career, you are ready for it, right? Wherever you're at, you start where you're at. It's important to seed the ground, to plant beautiful seeds so that your flowers of publicity and marketing grow. And it absolutely creates that credibility factor, that visibility. It creates trust in the marketplace. People have to trust you and know you, and then they love to do business with you. So I think that's really a key. And also, most importantly, it's familiarity. So that's the power of publicity. And we want to be creating that visibility factor for you ongoingly. And wherever you're at in your evolution right now is where you start. So I just want to say that you don't have to have a book. You don't have to even have I've started with people who have brand new businesses. Great time to start. People halfway, people are famous. It doesn't matter. What really matters is that you do visibility building activities consistently and constantly. And I think that's really a key.
I love that you talked about that, because I think a lot of times what women business owners do or don't do is they don't think about building your brand through visibility with getting yourself out there. And so they're so focused on, doing other things in their business, they're not really realizing that it does kind of, put them out there in a light where people take notice and they want to do business with you because they see that you're out there, right? It's seeing the recognition, the repetition of the recognition, really.
That's right. And that's really what it is all about. I love that recognition of repetition. That's
I just
good.
came up with that.
I may have to steal that. I love it. It's interesting. I've been helping people get book deals for years with agents and publishers, and then those who are published get foreign rights deals. This is like another aspect of my business. What's been interesting about that is they're asking questions like, what are you going to do for your publicity? What kind of promotion are they doing? And people whose books have never been born. I pitch book ideas. And one of the things they're asking is, what will they do to promote the book, right? And no matter if you don't have a word written, what will you do to promote it? But it's the same thing whether you have a business idea, concept, whether you're selling something brick and mortar, or you have a product. Guess what? Publicity is important for every aspect. So I think that's really the key about that. And then creating a powerful message is one of the first most important pieces to actually do with this, right? You got to have a great and powerful message, kind of like Oz. We need to pull the curtain, a great and powerful message. And I'd like to pull that curtain back right now and talk about how to actually get one. Would that be good?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's dive right into that.
Perfect. Because the thing about message that's really so key is that you have to be a problem solver in the marketplace, out in the marketplace. So I think the mistake that Heather most people, most business owners make, is to talk too much about what I call I messages. So the truth is, your people, your clients, your customers, your prospects, they don't care about all your how you do everything. And I know most people want to tell, especially women, they want to tell you how they do everything. I like to say, do your magic and don't tell them how. Like, so when you fill out this, so I'm going to give you the question right now to fill in, and that is, the problem today is, fill that out right now. Get your pens out, get your computers out, and fill in the answer to that. Because when you fill that in, then you will know what's the problem out there in the marketplace. And then you can be giving people solutions. You don't say, hire me. You say, if you want, better health, do this, right? You might be a health coach. If you want, maybe you're selling supplements, and again, it might relate to health or well-being, and so you want to zoom in on that. If you're a real estate professional, like, what's the way that people can sell a house? Like, give them the how-to, and give them, I like to call it appetizers, not full meals, right? Give them the how-tos and appetizers, not full meals, because they have to hire you for the full meal.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. And the fact that you were saying it's not about you, and change the I statements into, here's what you need to do, here's how to solve a problem. Because I do see that out there, where people saying, hey, look at me, I'm so wonderful, here's how I'm making X amount of money, and no one cares about that. It's actually kind of a turnoff. At least for me, it is.
Well, it is now more so. People want more authenticity.
Mm-hmm.
They do want to know what's in it for them. That's the radio station everybody's listening to, is WIIFM. So that's called What's in It for Me, right? And so you better be talking to that. And, of course, holding oneself up as an example, perhaps, could work, and that's great. But what I really want you to do is give people what they can do to fill in the blank. Be healthier, be wealthier, be wiser, be richer, be more fabulous, have better, fill in the blank, whatever it is. Make sure you're telling them how to do that.
I love that. So getting out there, getting the message out there, how can people get more PR? And people might be maybe confused on what PR is, like the different formats. So maybe start with that, and how, women that are watching this, or watching or listening to this right now, they know that it's really important to get those credibility pieces out there. How would they do that?
Sure. And what you all have to know is it's important no matter what, because it's going to build your prospects. It's going to create a pipeline for you. It's going to get people knowing about you. That is the power of publicity. It'll get people talking about you and connecting to you and trusting you. So the important first piece is to start with that message, exactly what I'm talking about, and then be a solution to that message. Give people real solutions. And when we talk about publicity, what I mean about publicity is it happens from the minute you walk out your door. See, people think, oh, when I get in the New York Times, I'm in publicity, or if I'm in the Atlanta Constitution, or wherever you live, right? And yes, there's the daily newspaper. Yes, there's radio and television in your marketplace, plus nationwide. But you know what else? There's wonderful magazines that are specialties, sometimes in a very, well, almost like strange and unusual area, right? You want to be using that. There are places and spaces that you can get into and be part of that are so wonderfully applicable, plus podcasts and blogs, right? Be looking on iTunes and see what podcasts you can fit into and what are matching topics for you. Great podcasters all over looking for great content, and that, my friends, is you. So that's all publicity, but really I want you to remember one thing: it happens from the minute you walk out your door.
So be very careful
important.
of what you're putting out there. So we shouldn't put a Facebook rant on there, right?
I don't think so. Honestly, I don't. Save that stuff for your friends and conversations. And if you want to, sign up for things and be an action person, that's great. I don't think ranting on Facebook or social media is professionally smart. That's not to say we don't all want to rant sometimes, and we have things to rant about, of course. But, you can do really cool things. Like, here's a great example. When Profit of Kindness came out, that's my newest book. And this is all about kindness and spreading that in the marketplace. And one of the things, write this down, I'm really big on, is called Use Everything You've Got. Well, in that case, Trump had been elected and inaugurated 2 days before Profit of Kindness came out. So, not getting political, what I did was I looked at what's happening in the marketplace and I realized, oh my gosh, we are a divided country. And we are still a divided country, I might add, and it's not a very kind world out there, which is great for a book on kindness. But it wasn't about, oh, I got a new book out, check this out, right? It was about the kindness problem in the marketplace. So what got me like 7 Fox TV interviews, over 45 radio interviews, and being featured on Forbes and Inc. magazine. Imagine what that would do for your business. What made that happen was I sent out a press release that had a headline called The Divided States of America. And can you get that? That was the cool thing. It wasn't about, Jill's got a new book out. Wow. Right. That's not the story. The story was the divided states of America that led to all those results that then bring people into my publicity courses and consulting and all that other fun stuff. So that's what I want you to look at. Yes.
I love that. And, that's one of the reasons why I created this summit. To me, it's not just a summit, it's a movement, because part of the proceeds are going to a campaign called She Should Run, which is about getting 250,000 women running for office by 2030. And
excellent.
To me, instead of complaining and ranting on Facebook, I'm going to do something about it. And I love what you're saying, being able to flip that around. It's not about, hey, look at my new book, which I do see a lot of people doing that, but really being, critical, or I should say, really being savvy about your soundbite and what you're going to do with your promotion. And you're just tying it into things that are happening today. So I think that's so beautiful.
Absolutely.
And kudos to you.
Thank you. Use everything you've got. Like, when March 8th came along, International Women's Day, all my women clients, I had them hitting the media. When something happens in the news, jump on it. And if you're the right one, right? Or you can comment on it. Like when Brad and Angelina got divorced, right? My parenting and relationship coaches, I'm like, okay, your turn, right? When Robin Williams, unfortunately, God bless him, killed himself, my psychologist and well-being coach, I had him on CNN.com talking about depression and what happens from there. So start looking at the news, put yourself on Google alerts for the keywords that are relevant to your particular message. And that's what we want you to comment on, and keep looking for openings in the media. There are plenty of them, plenty of things they're talking about that you could be part of.
I love that. And if we're going to put this into a framework of, let's just say, what someone can do in 30 or 60 or 90 days, number one, get clear on the problem that you're solving, talking about other people instead of yourself, and looking for timely events, setting those Google alerts, which I do. What are some of the other things to get traction? Like, do you think in 90 days, can someone get them on a show? What's been your track record?
Yeah, and one of the other most important first things is the message first. Mm-hmm. And, some of my clients have been on shows in 24 hours. If you're relevant for what's going on right now, believe me, timing is everything. And we create timing. You know, I had a woman, for instance, she created a newsletter for women who have been sexually abused. And it was a beautiful newsletter, but the truth is she was one person with a great idea and a wonderful concept, and she knew the power of publicity. Well, at that time, Oprah started talking about her sexual abuse. And I call her up, I'm like, Joan, let's go, you know, and we rode the Oprah wave, and she ended up with her newsletter. This is one woman doing an independent newsletter. She ended up with her newsletter in USA Today underneath Oprah, who came out and announced it. And then she was listed as a resource. So
Wow.
you've got it. Yes. Isn't that amazing? So you can imagine what happened to her subscriptions. You can imagine what happened to her subscriptions, and what happened to all the places that now she became part of was really the power of that publicity. So you want to be always watching for that. And I will tell you, I like 30, 60, 90 days, you know, for thinking about creating your publicity and what we can do. So another really powerful every 60-day action is to put yourself into your local business journal, as well as your local independent news journal. And in other words, your daily newspaper and the business journal, because there's a section called People, or People in the News. You're a people, and you just want to make an announcement. This is every 60 days. We actually write these in my publicity course, and that way you get it done. You're out there. This is completely free, and you're in there every 60 days. That's really cool. But you know, you can figure on a 90-day time frame for getting a big story and a small story, and they all count and they all matter. It's it could happen very fast if you're the expert that they need. Because really what I want to underline for all of you is you are an expert. The question is in what? The question is in what? I had a woman, here's a great example. She sold these cute little bra straps, you know, that how they always stick out. Well, she made pretty ones so that when they stick out, it's not a problem. And it was like $25, right, for each order. And following my publicity system, she actually got one blog post as a great example. She got a lot more, but let me tell you about one blog post that got her, let's see, it was 600 orders, 600 orders at $25. Let's do the math. It's $15,000. She made $15,000 from one blog post. That's what I want from you and for you. And let me just say, that's what happens with publicity.
I love that. And, you know, the beauty of publicity is that you don't have to have a big list. You just really have to get clear, like you said, on your messaging. And it's like being there at the right time. And throughout this series, I'm talking about having a strategy. You got to have a plan. You got to implement. And, you know, a lot of things when people are putting themselves out there, whether you're seasoned or you're new, they're always having that question, who am I to do that? So if your mind, and I do a lot of mindset work, so it's like if your mind is not aligned to your vision, those opportunities could be right in front of you, but you're just not going after them, right?
Yes, it's a yes and. You know, listen, I've worked a lot with people who feel you know, a little scared, let me just call it that, a little, oh gosh, I'm not confident. Here's the cool thing, besides working with Heather, you know, here's the great thing. When you have a good and powerful message, kind of like that Oz thing, and you can speak it simply, and it's in 5-year-old language or less, so write that down, 5-year-old language or less, then what happens is your confidence gets very accelerated. And that's a beautiful thing, because when your confidence is accelerated, it doesn't matter how you feel. If those emotions are up around, oh, I don't know if I'm worthy, and you're all worthy because you're smart enough to be here watching this. And I'm proud of you for that. You know, you have something to give the world.
I love that, Jill. This has been absolutely fabulous. And I know we're just out of time here, but before we go, I do believe you have a free gift. So can you tell us a little bit about that? And for those that are watching or listening, just go to the show notes and you'll be able to click on that link.
Absolutely. What I prepared for all of you is a wonderful audio that actually has even more great tips about publicity and how to get your message out in simple, easy ways that'll drive your visibility building. So I've made that for you, and Heather's given it to you.
Woo, I love it. I love it. Well, Jill, thank you so much for being my guest today.
It's a joy and a pleasure. And I just want to tell all of you watching, your message matters.
I love that. And I really want everyone to take Jill's advice, put that in a strategy, put that in a 90-day plan, take action. You could totally do it. And let her know how it's working for you, and make sure that you click on that link and take advantage of Jill's free gifts. Until next time, this is Heather Picken. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye. So I hope you enjoyed this masterclass. Now, my question for you is, what are you going to do in the next 90 days? I want you to take action that is aligned with your ambitious goal. When I work with clients, I actually show them how to change the neuroplasticity of their brain. And part of the process is really understanding, what goal, what action that I want to take is actually in alignment with my vision and mission and purpose. So you want to make sure that you have that. My other ask is to consider doing the Fearless and Fabulous Female Bundle. That is an upgrade, and it's $97. It runs throughout the summit. The reason why that's important is, number one, it's going to accelerate the rate in which you start attracting your success with some of the strategies that these experts are offering you. Number two, it's actually going to support a cause called She Should Run. As I mentioned earlier, it's about getting 250,000 women running for office by 2030. As women, we are so powerful, and I believe we're really living in an interesting time that we can change the world with our work. So again, I hope you consider the Fearless and Fabulous Bundle, and I want you to take action, okay? I'm going to be checking up on you